about you Negroes, man. And when I say Negroes, I'm talking about all you tribes, you black, so-called black tribes, and you Latino tribes, and you so-called Indian tribes, man. You know, it really ain't a thinkings, man. But it's a movie where you gotta go. It ain't about fun and jokes and damn music. You know, it's a serious movie. What you Negroes seem to be, you know, you're afraid of. You're afraid of anything serious. You know.
Yeah, even among so-called Israelite groups, like We Got Next. You know, you see a video of them guys playing basketball, and then they have the nerve to put the Psalms 133 and 1, like that's talking about playing basketball. Anyway, reading on, it says, what critics consider a thinking man's horror movie and a generally realistic portrayal of how the agency might investigate the origins of an outbreak. In a nod to the CDC's help, the film's producers hosted a screening for agency employees at its Atlanta headquarters last week. Winslet plays Dr. Erin Mears, a member of CDC's Epidemic Intelligence Service who is deployed to probe the origins of the fast-moving disease.
There were 2 people, and then 4, and then
all right, the next one is just from Info Please. It's entitled Rare and Deadly Diseases, Ebola's Africa's Bloody Disease. The Ebola virus was first associated with an outbreak of 318 cases of hemorrhagic disease in Zaire. Of the 318 cases, 280 of them died, and died quickly. That same year, 1976, 284 people in Sudan also became infected with the virus, and 156 died. The viruses that cause Ebola and Marburg are similar, infecting both monkeys and people. The outbreaks of these diseases are often self-contained. However, because they kill their host so quickly that they rapidly run out of people to infect.
Now jump down. I think if you jump down to the bottom, I think it says it's no. If that's the right tab, there's no known cure. It should say.
Treatment under treatment and vaccine. Okay. Jumping down to treatment and vaccines, it says there are no drugs that work against these diseases, and there is no known vaccine. Therapy involving blood plasma from people who have recovered anticoagulation agents, which attempt to reduce hemorrhaging, and interferon have been used with limited successes. Their effectiveness remains controversial.
Let me say something on that. You might have to read that again. They're telling you that there's no known cure for that outbreak, right? And it was in a controlled setting in Zaire, a town in Zaire, and it affected. Was it 318? Go to the top page. I believe it's 318. I think it was 280 that died. So you're talking about a little bit more than 80% of the cases. The people died, but that's called a epidemic on a small level in that city. So when you read that and you fill in the blank, so to speak, it says this was controlled. Where did it come from? How did it stop? You don't hear about it anymore. All right? And it said at the bottom of that article that there's no known cure. So if they got hit with that disease, the Ebola virus, what happened? It all of a sudden stopped? That's not how diseases work. So the only conclusion I can come to is that Esau made that in a laboratory, and they told you that in one of the other articles that they store all these viruses in under ice, I guess. They show you that in the movie. They don't get rid of that. That's why it's called the CDC. The acronym CDC Center for Disease Control, not Center for Disease Eradication. They're not trying to stop the diseases. They're trying to contain that disease and control it. It's a weapon. Disease warfare. They call it, what do you call it? Germ warfare, disease warfare. All right? Bio warfare. They don't have to shoot one shot and they can take out a whole village. That's why the main reason why the CDC and the World the World Health Organization was set up. And those pharmacies get rich, the medical field. If you're a doctor or if you're in the a field of pharmaceuticals, you're going to get rich, man. So that's all about control. That's all about control. So they brought that movie out to let you know, look, this is what's going to look like when we put out that next disease. When you get hit with that next outbreak, this is what it's going. You're going to experience it by this movie. All right. What's the next one, Doc? Okay, no, go to the one with. Okay, now this right here is slightly different because in the movie they showed there was a scene in the movie where they had quarantined this area. And Matt Damon with his daughter was trying to get out. They were driving, and they tried to get off at the ramp, and the military was waiting there for them, and with a roadblock. And they said, "Look, this area is quarantined. That means you can't come out of here because you can make that disease spread to other people." And he explained to them that he didn't have the disease, that they checked him, and he was immune to it. I don't know if he had that bracelet on him. And one part of the movie, he did have the bracelet, but he didn't have the bracelet, but he told him he wasn't affected. Then later in the movie, that's why you got to see it. One of the articles, the guy said he saw it twice. This is a movie you got to see 2 or 3 times because you miss a lot. Because it's kind of fast-paced, and they use those technical medical terms. Like I said, you can't go in a jovial, silly-ass spirit to watch this movie, you know? That's why when I saw it, there was nothing but Edomites in there, older Edomites. It was about 4:35 o'clock in the afternoon before the crowds came in, and the theater was maybe 10% full. And like I said, I didn't see one Jacob in there, man. And I went by myself, and I made sure I didn't bring my woman, because I didn't want to deal with her bullshit, you know? But basically, like I said, I'm going to say it again, this devil conditioning you for what's to come, because they want to push this new world order, all right? They want to be fully crowned with success. Anuit coeptis, Norvis Ordo Seclorum. Now, the scene with Matt Damon trying to get off of that exit, and they stopped him. Now, if he had that bracelet on him with the UPC code on him, the military guy would have took a scanner and scanned and said, "Yep, he's all right. Him and his daughter's all right. They can go through." So now, when that happens, somebody can put a gun to your head and take it and put it on them and say, "Oh, he's all right." So that may be the way, and I'm almost positive that's how they're going to push that chip through this disease warfare. And they have it in the health bill, and then that's why we have this article. So I'm going to have this brother read this article.
Yeah, by the way, there's an article where they said there's thousands of chips made. So they got the chips ready, man. They're ready to go. They just need the right excuse to pass it. This is entitled Obama's New Healthcare Bills, RFID Chip Implant is Mark of the Beast, Part 1 and 2. This is dated January the 30th, 2011. It says, a few days ago, my husband and I went to the post office to put up flyers on their community bulletin board. Our flyers are usually torn down, so we have to monitor them weekly. As I was putting one up, a young man came over and we got to talking about the economy and how he was out of work and could not find any. The more we spoke, the more I felt compelled to tell him I believed we would see the Lord return in our lifetime. We found out this man was a Christian, and he mentioned very briefly that his wife had found on the web that human microchips